Blessings and welcome back everyone, Nico here, and in today's video all about the paranormal and parapsychological encounters we can have, we're going to be talking all about the elementals, nature spirits, the fae, the kami, the little people, the good neighbors. What is going on in our interactions with them? What are they doing here? What is their whole part in the universal process, and how we can forge a happy, healthy, and fulfilling relationship with them, and what it means to share this planetary ecosystem with them, and how they fit in to the cosmic cycle of life and the whole universal process of conscious evolution and spiritual atmosphere, because they are just as much a part of nature in that way as we are, as the animals are. I've got Persephone in my lap. As the trees are, as the plants and the stones are. It's really important for us to be able to understand that we are not the only ones here, and that not all spiritual interaction comes from the dead and the stars. One of the ways we can understand how the nature spirits themselves relate to us is that whereas we are creator beings, they are shaper beings. And when we engage with nature spirits, we can have a very friendly rapport and a very rich, interactive, symbiotic kind of relationship with them. It does not have to necessarily be scary. But a lot of the times, especially I think with a lot of, let's just say, really hard work on the part of organized religion, people don't think of nature spirits as nature spirits, or they don't have the thought of nature spirits even occur to them. They immediately go to, ghosts, or they immediately go to demons or something like that. And the truth of the matter is that, elementals and nature spirits are neither. They are very much alive, and they are very much ensouled, and they are also very much not demons. So when I say that they are shapers, they are here, again, as part of maintaining the balance in the ecosystem. That is their job. That is their life role. As we create and manifest, they shape and hold the space and maintain the balance for everything else that is here. We have earth elemental spirits, which you could maybe even split up into subcategories. Of course, there are going to be more of the still and constant stone or rock elemental, and then you're also going to be having more of the verdant life force shepherds. They are about nature and life force in action, so they tend to be vibing more with the plants and the animals, but they still fit into the category of earth elemental. By the way, I do want to mention that when it comes to gnomes, a lot of people tend to think immediately to garden gnomes and the hats and the beard. While that is a thing, that is not all of them, but you definitely want to make sure that if you're going to go on this, you do not attach anything to that association, because one, they're really cool. Number two, yeah, some of them do look like that, and some of them do have hats like that. Three, not all of them do. Another form of earth spirits that are pretty common or well known, or at least in folklore, would be the brownie, the house brownie. Again, another shaper, another mover. And there are tons of names for all kinds of different beings that work in this way. You have the air elementals or the sylphs, and these could also be associated with, say, pixies or the classical fairy archetype. They tend to focus more on the movement and the balance in the realm of air, the realm of thought, music, and sound. They are also carriers. They are bearers, right? The wind that blows the seeds, that blows the pollen, that blows the leaves. They are distributors. They scatter energy. They make sure that things get where they need to go. Messages on the wind, as well as assist with anything relating to, say, travel. Of course, they resonate very much with, say, the flying animals and anything that is going to be traversing vast distances. And this can also assist those of you who might be interested in astral travel, bilocation, remote viewing. Becoming friendly with the sylphs, you will actually have a lot of help and tutelage in pulling that off. There are Undeans or Undines, depending on how you choose to pronounce that. These are the water spirits, the nymphs, These are the spirits of flow. They hold the bridge between worlds of the non-physical and the physical. There are many different non-physical worlds, hence me saying it that way. I know it sounds kind of weird. They are focused on cleansing and clearing, but also nourishing, allowing for motion, allowing for flow, allowing for life. They, of course, are the givers of life, the givers of the water itself that brings the opportunity for life to exist. This is also a place where you find beings that are focused on facilitating emotional harmony or feeling state harmony and connectivity between all souls. And then, of course, you also have the fire elemental spirits or the salamanders. These are the party animals. These are the ones that like to inspire great feats of creativity. They bring courage. They are also movers, very much in the same way that you have sylphs be movers, but instead of distribution, they tend to attract, they tend to pull, amplify energy. They are in charge of regulating, empowering, and directing energy as it goes through Gaia's natural spiritual current. Now, of course, these are just classifications based on elements. And of course, there are nature spirits that resonate and embody more than one elemental archetype at a time. The important thing to recognize when it comes to working with nature spirits is that they want to get along with us. They are here working for harmony in the world, just like humans are attempting to work for peace in the world. And peace and harmony are not the same thing. We've got creators in the humans, and then we've got the shapers and the movers in the elements. Now, we ourselves incarnate because these bodies and the auric field that is our closest energy body, right, the inner portion of our energy field is comprised of all four elements at once. And so we are related to each and every one of these beings. But if we want to make sure that we have a good relationship with them, that we also understand that we can't just keep them separate from us in our consciousness. We can't treat them like zoo animals, and we can't treat them as objects of paranormal intrigue. If you're going to engage with them, you have to make sure that you understand that you are essentially talking to another person who is alive in this now. One of the ways to tell if you are engaging in communication with a nature spirit versus, say, a ghost is that a nature spirit will more often than not communicate through imagery, abstraction, and feeling states. And it's not necessarily to say that you can't have more of a communication with words. It's just that a lot of elementals tend to communicate more through gesture, feeling, and demonstration. Gnomes and sylphs will communicate in more of a telepathic way, so that is still possible if that's easier for you. But a lot of nature spirits will tend to be sending you flashes. They will send you pictures, what's going on, what they're asking for, what they're directing your attention towards. It's all about gesture. And that communication with nature spirits can sometimes feel a little bit like not only are you playing a hot and cold game, but your energy fields, when you are really jiving with them and you're really getting a good groove going, is going to go through a very drastic sort of regenerative or healing process. They like to engage with us if we are being friendly with them and our energy is in a good place for them. We are going to be, of course, having that symbiotic relationship. A gift to you is a gift to them, a gift to them is a gift to you. Most of the time, an elemental isn't going to engage in an important conversation with you unless they have a message to give. That's the nice thing about them. You don't have to go through taking the ghost through psychotherapy before they can even articulate something they need to say. You're not going to be dealing with a poltergeist that's just, completely one-track, single-minded. And you're not going to be dealing with a demon that is trying to, confuse you or throw you off course. If there is something going on where you suspect you might be dealing with a nature spirit and there might be some trouble afoot, you might be in conflict with one, it's important to treat it as though there is just a little bit of a feud going on. These are not beings that want to, have a hard life. They really don't. They just want to do their job. They want to be happy. They want to fall in love. They want to prosper. If there is something wrong, 9 out of 10 times it is probably a human's fault or the fault of another entity or another being in the space. And they will call your attention to it. The nice thing is, though, is that when you are working with nature spirits, they will also help you to defend the land you share with them. They will also help you fight off poltergeists or belligerent ghosts or demons or even nasty people. And you may be finding that when an elemental is having a bad reaction to something that's been brought into or taken out of the space, more often than not, it's something that you want to remediate, or it is something that you want to replace as quickly as you can because it's going to be good for you too. If you want to start building a relationship with nature spirits, this is, where you might want to think about studying a little bit on how to make offerings or setting up a sacred space somewhere where there is a boundary between what is yours and what is theirs, where you can meet and have a wonderful chat or leave offerings, leave presents, leave gifts, and just keep a strong, healthy running relationship there. Because again, what you give to them, they give back to you. A little bit of oatmeal here, you might notice that all of a sudden your garden is restored to health, or that a bunch of money is coming your way, especially if you're dealing with gnomes. They know how to handle coin in abundance. Or maybe you're burning incense or oil outside for the sylphs, and all of a sudden you're noticing roads open up for you, or you are getting answers coming to questions or problems that you've not been able to solve because sylphs are really good for that. Maybe you're making an offering of flower petals or rose petals into a river or a stream or at the coastline to the Undeans and the water elementals, and all of a sudden you are getting healed and they are doing a lot of energy work on you. Maybe you're throwing cinnamon sticks into a bonfire or into the hearth, and you are making an offering to the fire spirits, and they are going to bless you with popularity. They're going to draw in new friends. They're going to help give life to a project that may not be getting off the ground as fast as it could. This is how we can have a beautiful relationship with these beings. A lot of them are extremely helpful and they just want to work with us as well. It's just that a lot of human beings have been so conditioned to be scared, and a lot of human beings do not take care of their own energy or have any kind of concept of preservation of energetic or spiritual sanitation of the home or what they are carrying with them. And so, of course, these beings either want to back away in that case or chase away if it's creating problems for them. You would do the same thing when it comes to toxic people or destructive people or wasteful people, sabotaging people in your life. That is how they can respond to human beings that don't know how to act right. Cleanse yourself before you engage with them, unless you're asking them to help cleanse you, because they will if you're willing. However, if they sense that there is something going on, some kind of spiritual or energetic instability, unless you are willing to let that go, they're not going to come close to you because they're not going to want to be around that. It's just kind of like dealing with human beings. So I think I'm going to let that be our little chat for today. I hope you found this helpful, guys. This is a humongous subject, and it's certainly not as narrow or as compartmentalized as, say, talking about poltergeists or anything like that. This is way more diverse. There are so many different types of nature spirits out there across so many different cultures, and we are going to have to come back and talk about this some more soon. But you know what? Let's just have a fun little chat for, food for thought for the now, and we will return. Okay? So you all take care, and thank you so much for dropping by.